419 with Gretchen DeBacker, Matt Killam, and Kevin Mullen.
Welcome into the 419, powered by WGTE and presented by Wheatro Wealth Management. I'm Kevin Mullen.
Gretchen DeBacker.
I kill him.
It is time for our Toledo.com community calendar, driven by Tarda.
You're just going right into it.
Yeah, no reason.
It's the day that we do
No reason
this.
for witty banter. Let's get to it.
No, but like it's that
the
time.
day of.
It's
I don't
the day
feel like
of.
talking either.
Right.
It's still the time.
Matt's upset because we both are dressed like professors today, and he's
I
dressed.
think you should be upset.
Hang on. The thing that's keeping me from being dressed like a professor is I don't have the elbow patches.
That's right.
If I had the elbow patches, I'd be
Or the
with you.
smarts.
I'm gonna have Dean spray paint some. It's right. It's not just the patches.
We're also idiots.
Yeah,
It's both.
a little from column
I'm
A,
also-
a little column from B.
I'm speaking
that's
of myself, of course.
Yeah. Or I also like or the smarts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you know someone.
That's a big thinker.
Yeah. You couldn't have
Or
picked a
the-
larger word to
Or
describe
the smarts.
Or the brain power.
intellectual capacity or
there you
something.
go.
Was that
Yeah.
your Buffalo Bill impression?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. He murdered those women.
We got an exciting show today. We're going to have Ward Ensign and then a couple of the students that are going to be in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor.
Joseph. That's the only part of the song I know.
That's kind of the main part of the song.
Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
That high school performance is going to be this weekend at the Franciscan Center. It's a phenomenal show. Their musicals are always just spectacular.
Guys, I am alarmed is too strong, but we have taken to quite a musical theme to the
Well,
show.
67%.
I was worried that we were going to talk about sports too much. And in fact,
Well,
we
we
are
blew past that.
No, we
Yeah.
are talking about so much musical theater that I
That's right.
feel
Joseph
like
was drafted by the Chargers in the 5th round. He ran a 4.640. He bench pressed 250 pounds, 225 pounds. Yeah, we have had a lot of musical content.
tis the season. It's
Yeah. Right?
spring. Yeah, they always have musicals in the spring.
See, I don't even know that, and neither do our listeners.
They're not
do.
always in the spring, but a lot of them are. Like Notre Dame does theirs in the fall. I think St.
Notre
Ursula does theirs in
Dame.
the fall.
You're
So-
a Notre Damer.
I am.
Yeah, okay.
So you should know when
Yes,
it
I should.
happened.
I should.
And then, all right, so we're going to have the cast of Joseph is going to be on, and then we will have Dean Davis.
Exciting.
And what play is he in?
You know what? We're going to find out.
Okay.
I was trying to come up with
I think
something.
he does sing while he paints, though. That's what
Yeah,
I've heard.
That's right. Mostly profanity.
I am interested in what his soundtrack is.
Yes.
100%.
But for those
That's a
that
great
don't know,
question.
he's a local legend, muralist. A lot of cool projects he's working on right now.
And he's gonna
lead in.
put 100 murals
Yep.
in Toledo over the next couple of years.
He's going to put 100 murals within 5 miles of every Lucas County resident.
He'll one up the Metro Parks.
That's right.
All he's got to do is put a couple of murals inside every Metro Park, and he's already
Yeah, you're
accomplished
good.
it.
You don't even have to figure out the
That's right.
mileage.
And then Cathy Kamenca.
Yeah.
Our
friend,
favorite.
from
Yes.
WGTE is going to join us and talk about some of the cool things happening this summer with PBS and PBS Kids.
Sorry about that, guys.
So, all right, it's now time. Are we good?
I'm
for
ready, yes.
Gretchen's.
No, wrong time.
Sorry.
No.
No, let's take a look at our Toledo.com community calendar driven by Tarda. What do we got going on?
We have so much going on this weekend. First event, number one on the list, is The Mix.
Big deal. Big doings.
This coming Friday night, May 1st. This is to benefit the Arts Commission. We've had our friend Molly Lutke on the show, who's the chair this year, as well as Kyle from Hafner. I'm on the board of the Arts Commission. Our friend John Ikest, who makes this calendar, little favoritism maybe, is also on the board. But it's really just a great party. It's our largest fundraiser of the year. You can get tickets for that at artscommission.org. The cool thing is that this year the event is going to be at our new building, which is right across from the library, so people can get a chance to see what that's all about. So tickets are available. Second event, Tattoo Fest Toledo. Matt, are you going to be modeling at Tattoo Fest Toledo?
Modeling is strong. I will be standing outside.
Uninvited.
That's right.
Okay. Glass City Center, May 1st through the 3rd. You can get a tattoo. They're going to do live demonstrations. You can win prizes. There's contests. There's speakers. It's apparently quite a big event.
The list of tattoo artists that are coming to this is insane.
How do you know this?
I mean, just like,
On the internet.
Oh.
you know, research, show prep. Kind
Wait,
of
what?
Kind of a thing that we do. No. But I went through looking. Like I mean, I don't have a tattoo.
Not yet.
That's right. I could go and
You get
get
a
one.
live demo this weekend.
That's right.
We should get
Yeah.
the
We
our
should.
logo tattooed to ourselves.
Oh, that's
Dean?
interesting.
On our forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
If you had to get a tattoo,
She has one.
I have one.
you have one.
Yeah, I just have one. My dad's signature on my wrist.
Oh, there you go.
But
All
just
right.
one, because I can never think of anything, that
What's
I
the
would
thing
want.
that you want permanently?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But this logo might be one. That'd be a good idea, Matt.
Yeah, sure.
You want to get it?
Dean can do
Let's
it.
do a contest. If we raise enough money, Gretchen
For
has to
WGTE.
tattoo our logo.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Okay.
$75 gets.
What's the number?
We have to raise at least $100.
I'll pay it right now.
Me too.
Done.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Okay. Next event, Claire's Day, is Saturday, May 2nd at the main branch library. This is the 25th anniversary of this organization and this event. It's all about reading. It's to benefit Read for Literacy. It was organized by the family of Claire Rubini. It's all day on Saturday. They're going to give awards for kids that had struggled with their reading and improved their reading.
That's
All
cool.
kinds of book-related events and contests and fun things to
It's
do for the
a
day.
really cool event.
It really is.
Brad and Julie Rubini are just fantastic
Mm-hmm.
people that have done a wonderful job sort of building this. And then just in the last I'll say few years, but the reality is anything post-COVID, I mean, that could be 10, 15 years that they've been partnering
Right.
with Read for Literacy on this. Really
Totally free
incredible.
event to come out. And
Yeah, so this weekend at the main library, and then at the end of May, it's in Maumee
oh, great.
at their library. So they do two different ones and opportunities for students to get celebrated for improving their reading.
More information is available obviously at Toledo.com. Cinco de Mayo, it's coming up. It's coming up at the celebration at the zoo is this Saturday.
What day is Cinco de Mayo?
It's May 5th,
What day is the celebration of Cinco de Mayo?
May 3rd.
Okay,
Just so you don't get confused, Matt,
that's
I
why I asked.
will.
because it's the weekend.
Got
May
it.
3rd, 11 to 3 at the Toledo Zoo. All kinds of fun things, activities. The local folk dancing troupe from Believe Center is going to be there. All kinds of fun things to do. So.
And then the last event on the list, Walk MS.
Yep, it's Glass City Metro Park, Sunday, May 3rd. You can sign up, you can register, still raise funds for that. So it should be a pretty nice weather weekend for all this stuff too.
And I feel confident that our friends at Tarda can get you to each and every one of these events.
I think you're totally correct.
So it's our Toledo.com community calendar driven by Tarda, and Tarda can help you get out to all kinds of great things across the region. So get out, enjoy Northwest Ohio. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll dive into some of the other great events happening and some of the folks that are making them happen. We'll be right back on the 419.
Support for the 419 comes from Witro Wealth Management, where we understand that your financial path is personal. Advisory services are offered through Capital Investment Advisory Services, LLC. Securities offered through Capital Investment Group, Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. More information at witroadvisors.com.
The 419, powered by WGTE, is made possible in part by supporters like you. Thank you.
Welcome back into the 419, powered by WGTE. We took a look at our Toledo.com community calendar driven by Tarda. We're going to talk about another cool event coming up this weekend with our friend Dean Davis.
Hey.
I know you are such a modest and humble person, but you are an absolute rock star.
Well, thank you for that. That's a modest. Yeah, I know
He doesn't
Matt.
say that to anybody.
Matt would never say something like that to me
No.
as our friendship grows. But
That's right.
So, Dean, if folks don't know, you are a mural artist and have done a number of murals. What are some of the murals that you've done that people might recognize around town?
Kevin, that was it was weird. I was looking back on time, with the whole 26th year that we're in right now, and 5 years ago I was just working on the railroad and just kind of suffering through that kind of like extent of life, and I just happened to want to be on part of the Silo project, so the largest mural in the nation. I just wanted to be part of it, and I found myself kind of spearheading that project with them, and it was really amazing just to be part of that team of artists. But I seen something that I could do really well. Like, I like doing murals. I think it's the public-facing element that murals have over other art is to me it's such a servant leadership element of life.
But Dean, touch us, some, if not most, know that part, but let's back up a little bit. you've always been an artist. You've always drawn. What is the where did this start? Not frequently do people jump from railroad.
Yeah, that's a wild
artist.
spectrum right there, right? I was in Quantum Leap, is what it was. There was an old movie in the '90s that I'm actually part of that show.
I love
Quantum Leap.
It was such a good show.
Well, I am that guy.
Scott Bakula.
Yeah, I am that guy.
Yeah.
So I'm in this moment right now.
Well, I've got some bad news for you.
It's not doing too good.
Yeah,
I'm going to try to flip again real quick, right? No, I always got into art. In second grade, I kind of discovered this thing that I really loved. And then I put a lot of hours into trying to like mold it and explore it. And I think that that's what good artists do, is they explore this craft they have and this ability they have. But I do think that creativity...
Did you ask good artists what they did?
I haven't met any yet.
I was going to say.
That's my humbleness right there, right?
I sat near one.
Yeah.
I was on an airplane and I thought I saw this guy.
Yeah, sure.
It's such a weird thing though. I think creativity is in everybody, right? We all kind of hold some sort of ability to kind of like give the world, and elaborate on something that's in our mind. So, with me, I've explored like metal. I've explored wood. I've explored glass. And all these different facets. Tattooing, I know we got this big thing coming in Toledo, and look at what the tattoo industry's done. So we evolve these different forms of art throughout time, and I think that's the same thing with murals, right? Like 10 years ago, we wouldn't be able to put these murals on these spaces, right? Like there's no way that public art would have been in such a dominant field.
Well, I'll tell you that my favorite piece of art you've ever done is taken from one of my other favorite local artists. James Dickerson took a picture of Lucy Killam, my daughter. It's my favorite picture of her. Lucy passed, and I'd not met Dean, but he did a painting of her, and we connected.
Yeah.
And I called Dean to thank him. It still hangs on my wall today. Just the photo that James took and your painting are certainly my favorite possessions that I've had my entire life.
Well, thank you for that.
Thank you for that. For those of you who also don't know, and for those on the radio, I am tattooed. That is the result of a conversation I had with you about thinking about a tattoo, and I don't know if you remember this, but you said, well, what do you think about doing? I was like, I don't know. Obviously, I was in kind of a bad place, and I was like, I just want to have my whole arm be black. And Dean was like,
Maybe not.
Yeah, Dean was like, well, why don't we meet, or why don't we talk about what Lucy meant to you and things that she was into. So he designed and did my tattoo. Art, as we all know, it is many things to many people. Most importantly, it is truly in the eyes of the beholder. So to tee that from a personal story in a lifetime of gratitude for which I owe you, as does my family, you are changing the landscape of our town for the eyes of hundreds of thousands now. So talk to us about when you look downtown, or when you look at buildings that are in disrepair, you see something different than other people see. You're truly an artist. So talk to me about what you see downtown and the opportunity to change what we're looking at for generations to come.
Well, I think the Arts Commission's done an amazing job so far. I mean, we've gone with an amazing organization for over 40 years in the city that's put huge pieces of public art up in ways that have just already demonstrated what public art should do for communities.
Do you have a favorite piece of public art that's not your own, that kind of gets? No, I mean honestly, something you drive by, just a favorite. People usually have a favorite.
The sculpture, catalog that the Arts Commission has is really spectacular. But I love the huge rabbit that lives over by the Art Museum.
Yeah,
right? That's probably one of my favorites. I think it's really special.
Yeah, go ahead. Pardon my interruption.
No. When it comes down to some of the boundaries that we live in, public-facing or private-facing properties is usually one of the first things I see, because there are restrictions that these organizations have in regards to what kind of funding can go where. And I've learned that in the last 3 years, right? Yeah. And I've learned that through calluses and saying, why is this? But then I take enough nerve to say, well, let's figure out why and see if we can work something out. And so I see Toledo's just frontier city, right? I think that we have so much opportunity And I think we're at that cusp of like changing the city for good, right? We really are. And I think it starts with art.
Yeah.
I really do. I think that it starts with art. I think it starts with taking care of the properties that we have. And this is just another development of maintenance is all it really is. I mean, if you really break down, I think that's an easy way to have an objective conversation. Are we just maintaining these properties? Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. How are we doing it though? And that becomes more subjective conversation. But right now, you know, the field that we're looking at 20 properties in for this first year, these are all properties you might not even recognize because they look like crap, right?
Sure.
They do. These walls have been broke down. The property owner hasn't maintained them. You know, I mean.
Is there anything you can do for these two while you're here to make them look better?
I think the patch idea on the elbow is where I'm going to start.
Yeah.
I
Next
think,
level.
that right
Because
there.
right now they are just
it's
in
the
maintenance
detail.
mode.
Yeah, that's the pepper on the steak for sure.
that's right. And you're at Steak and Shake. So there's only so much seasoning you can
Oh
provide.
no, they're good people for sure.
Let's talk about the practicality of putting this paint on the wall. The thing that I wonder about is you must not be afraid of heights. That's number one. Number
Terrified.
two, really?
Terrified of heights. I will be honest with you. When I did the silo project, I was 3 days before that project, and I was in this imposter syndrome mode. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be it. I'm gonna expose myself. What's going to happen? And sure enough, on the third day of that, it was just beautiful weather, and I just said, screw it. Let's go up to the top of this thing.
And do you use something different? Do you use a different device for every sort of wall? Is it always a lift? Are you harnessed into something? Like,
No, you're harnessed in. Safety is my biggest priority.
Yes.
I don't care what it is. I always examine the ground where I'm around. You know, I take this very, very seriously so that I can have as much comfort up in the lift as I possibly can. You know, there's a lot of these areas that you're putting these murals on. They're refineries. They're areas that have already put so much like safety sensitive elements into play. And you got to obey everything that they tell you. So,
But that's
if it's
there's a
hard hat-
duality of because there are certainly areas like refineries that have like federal restrictions to them, but you are having to navigate ground that people have forgotten or left behind as well. So the one side of the coin is rules and regulations. The other side is truly frontier land.
It really is. But safety is a common, right? You can be safe on both of those and hold the same standards as it would be on a refinery, as it would be behind the Davis building where it's just a parking lot, right?
The other thing that's so interesting to me, especially because so many of these murals are so large scale. I mean, you talk about the silo, just absolutely huge.
Yeah.
But you're just a person on this device and you're painting so close. How do you know
scale.
how do you scale it? Are you always constantly getting up and then walking a yard back to look at it?
You're on the sandpiper.
I think the first one that I kind of realized that your eye will just recalibrate itself on scaling. At least mine does. I don't know why, but it does. And I've heard people have that problem, right? Like they're like, I can't understand. Like this is supposed to be like A big, and you're making it that big. But the truth is for some reason my mind just recalibrates it, and it just kind of like seems
Just a gift.
I saw, I mean, talking about technology, I saw a photo that you had posted on social media, I think with a student who was wearing.
Oh, the headset. Now that's where technology is coming in. So you know, when we did the silo project, the silo project was done with an old school method, right? We used a gridding method. And then we kind of just a little bit of technology to kind of get a drone shot to overlay some imagery to kind of connect the dots. Now I use VR, and there's an argument in the mural community that says, oh, that's cheating. And I go, well, if you can do the job better and more efficient and keep the pace that you're more natural with, there's nothing cheating about that, right? The project that we're on right now at the Glass City Veterans Bridge project, you know, you had to break it down, right? You still have to be a little bit more, you got to come up with a new game plan every time you approach these things. But the truth is, you know, the soldier itself was done with a VR headset.
I want to talk a little bit, can you go in a little bit more detail of that project? You're currently working on the Veterans Bridge. What is all going on that canvas, if you will?
So 2 years ago, I approached ODOT and said, hey, you know, I really think that we could do something really cool with this
That's
this
a
area
flexible,
space.
nimble group.
Oh yeah, they. I got to tell you, I was expecting big no's, right?
Yeah,
like
sure.
I was expecting laughs, actually. You know,
Sure.
I thought that they would just
They haven't
kinda,
laughed since 1971.
I thought they would chuckle me right out of the conversation.
Yeah.
But they were actually really open-minded. So they pushed it down to Columbus, and Columbus said, you know, we'll do a pilot project with this, and we'll see how it shakes. So thank God I was just in that right moment for that. So with that project, I think the Glass City Veterans Bridge, the symbolism of the veteran community, and an opportunity to capitalize on the green space when they built that bridge underneath it that was already in the works.
So
right?
what's going on the bridge?
So it's going to have a soldier from every conflict, both man and woman from that conflict, and then show the actual representatives from or kind of like the sum total of how many people came from Lucas County to that. So it's really, really important to me to express that. And it'll become the largest veterans mural project in the entire world.
Are you a veteran?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I was in the Navy.
Yeah.
And it was what I needed,
Yeah.
right? From an artist standpoint, that's the most polarized thing you could do. You could say, you know, being an artist, you're all free spirited and this, but I went to the Navy because I felt like I needed a change in the direction I was going. And I think that as a kid that's hovering around 18 years old, that's just feral. And I mean, I could use that. That was exactly how I was. I said, I need to do what's the most opposite thing I can do right now. And that was to go into the Navy.
We're talking with Dean Davis, muralist, tonight, Thursday, April 30th from 5 to 7. 100 works of art, one bold vision. Is an event at Toledo Pickle. What's happening tonight?
So that's our fundraiser. That's our we're looking for people to invest into this project, right? But it's also an educational component. You know, we're going to outline to the community what projects we're bringing to them and hearing their feedback. You know, and I think that that's a great way to do it. But also, this isn't a taxpayer money, right? Like this wasn't somebody that we're looking for all the kind of investments to keep this thing growing, but we're doing it at a cost point that's actually much cheaper than people would expect.
I would tell you, and this isn't certainly a criticism on other artists, but if Dean tells you something is going to be done for $100 on Thursday, it's going to be done usually on Wednesday for exactly that amount, if not less. And that isn't, again, to undercut or generalize anyone else, but
thank you for that.
Well, no, thank you for that. We've worked together.
I can't believe the pace I mean, I feel like, you say you're Scott Bakula, right? I mean, I think that makes sense.
You said you're Scott Bakula, your words.
Well, it's my Amish community. I actually just bring Amish people on the job site with me, and they work for free.
Yeah, that's right.
They live on my property.
We've got a lot of downloads in the Amish community.
It's fair to say this right now.
That's our target market.
But I mean, when you set out to do 100 murals over the next 5 years.
I think 5 to 7 years, you got to make it enough to kind of like work hard on, right? I mean, is that optimistic? Absolutely. I think it's going to be tough to do. I think we've got help in the artist community. It's not just me painting these murals, right? This is an opportunity for local artists. I think it's one of the first times in Toledo's history that we're guaranteed a community guaranteed work in the art department, right? Like that creativity can stay here and they can actually do these projects and keep them maintained, right? Like that's another big thing with me is the maintenance on this stuff has to be more proactive.
How soon do you have to go back and
That's a great question. Every project that gets done, the next year it gets graded. And if it falls underneath a B, it immediately goes into the cycle of simple maintenance. So if you just hit maybe you're just doing an hour on it, right? Just to clean up some of the facts.
You guys should write this down.
That's the big win right there is to stay on top of it. So in 10 years, when you're handing it off to the next generation, it's already at such a strong standpoint.
Give me a letter grade for these two.
A+. Oh, you're talking to me?
Dean, if people want more information on your drive for 100 murals or more information on the event tonight, where can they find it?
Please swing by the Toledo Pickle on Thursday if you guys are available. But the River Gallery Foundation, our website, has everything outlined and constantly evolving.
Awesome. Dean Davis, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be joined by the cast of Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat with St. Francis de Sales School. We'll be right back on the 419.
To me, community means connecting to others.
I'm Donnie Miller, and welcome to The Point.
I love CBS Kids!
We're a community committed to education. Discover new ideas, dive into exciting subjects, and engage with the world around you.
I would send them personally a t-shirt. Crime doesn't pay in the Old West End, pass it on. That's how we cleaned up the neighborhood.
Vision loss for people is not the end.
It's a story. It's the next chapter.
WGTE Public Media invites you to Get Out and Play Day.
Monday through Friday, it's the 419 powered by WGTE. With Matt Killam, Gretchen DeBacker, I'm Kevin Mullen. What can people expect on the show?
It's going to be an hour, a reminder of why this is a great place to live, work, and play.
WGTE, where you come to watch, listen, and learn.
Welcome back into the 419. It's our Toledo.com community calendar looking at some of the best things happening across Northwest Ohio. This weekend, one of my favorite high school productions is St. Francis. Every year, you guys do such an incredible job. We're joined now by the cast, the lead of the show, Ethan Tognazzi, stage manager, Carson Crandall, and the director, Ward Ensign from St. Francis. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Ethan, we're going to start with you. You are Joseph. What is the story of Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat?
Yeah, I get asked this question quite a lot.
Before the show came on, you were asked this
years ago. He's been asked his whole life.
It's amazing.
So Joseph is the favorite of his 12 brothers total, and because he's his dad's favorite, and he gets...
Who's his dad?
Jacob. Yes. And because he's his dad's favorite and his brothers really don't like him, well, of course, he receives the coat because he's his favorite, which I guess is kind of an important part of this show.
Right. It's in the title.
Yeah. Little details.
Easy, Gretchen.
But then Joseph gets thrown into a pit because his brothers are angry at him, and then sold off into slavery, but eventually climbs his way up the ranks again and makes it with his, the king of Egypt.
It's the classic musical story.
Yeah.
This is your, you've played lead roles before, but I think this is your first title lead role with St. Francis.
Correct.
So you and I have known each other for a number of years. Yes. I think the first time I saw you on stage probably would have been Mary Poppins.
Probably.
At St. Pius.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
What's it like being the lead of the St. Francis musical?
Some might say that it's more pressure, but really the experience that I had coming from a junior musical program has really prepared me for what it would be like at a higher scale musical theater program. And also, a lot of people will look at St. Francis de Sales musical theater program and say, oh, I'm not cut out for that. But really, when you get to be a part of it, you realize it's just as relaxed as any other musical program. If anything, it's just you have the confidence of knowing that you get to put one of the best musicals on in the area. So.
Carson, you are the stage manager this year. Prior to us, during the break, you had mentioned you've done 1,000 of these.
Yeah, I've done a decent couple in my lifetime.
What's the role of the stage manager, and how did you get into this side of theater?
So I'm gonna start with what it's like. So I always stay on one side of the stage for the entire show. All the blackouts that happen, this one has very few, but I call all the blackouts, all the set pieces you'll see come on and off stage, all cued by me, with all my many little stage, all the running
minions.
Stage minions.
Yeah, my minions.
Your crew.
Yeah. I also help direct the sound and lights if need be.
Sure.
All the props, I'm also in charge making sure they're all on and off at the right times and stuff.
Yeah.
And what got me into it? So it was all the way back in freshman year, and I was like, man, I should really do something for high school. And I was like, soccer, not for me.
Not for you.
Any other sports, I'll pass on that. And then I saw I can do something called musical, and so I watched a couple. I was like, this is quite nice. But then I saw about the stage frame, painting and building. I'm like, ooh, I've been a pretty happy painter all my entire life. I've always liked painting, and so I really was like, I think the stage routine's for me.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
I have one sister. She did one of the musicals her senior year, so that also helped.
Do you now enjoy ordering her around based on your prowess, or do you give her direction? Or Are you aspiring to do so?
Yeah. One day, if she comes back to Music Hall later in life, because,
100.
yeah,
Then you could just put your thumb right on top.
Oh, you know it. Yeah. I'm gonna be a man with power.
Yeah. Sure.
The set for these musicals is just
always the best,
insane.
yeah.
And I mean, you guys have almost as many, maybe as many students involved in stage crew as you do actually in the actual production.
I have a question for, to that end. Talk a little bit about the entirety of the performance, meaning how many people are actually involved in one of these?
Yeah, so I have the exact numbers, 49 cast members this year. Wow. It's a little lower than normal, usually over 60. And then we have 54 stage crew members.
Oh my gosh.
And they, it varies. Some are in the light booth, some are backstage. Some just help paint and get ready for the show, and then they maybe can't do this weekend because, so. And then we this year, we added, because, Joseph has we call it the youth choir, a children's choir.
Mm-hmm.
And we put out a call, and we have 32
oh my gosh.
Young people from 4th to 8th grade from all over the city of Toledo, one even from Dundee, Michigan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so
now you're bi-coastal.
Yeah.
If you consider, which
we're
I do.
we at least interstate, but I mean, but yeah, we have 32 young people, mostly Catholic schools, but we let anybody do it. And we do a fall musical now with junior high for this year was our 7th or 8th. And a lot of the kids who were in Aladdin that we just did in the fall are in this. But
Ward, how long have you been directing musicals at St. Francis? It's a long history of some real.
Yeah.
I was in Bob Stucker days, Gloria Melopolis days. So you have big shoes to fill there.
Huge shoes, yeah. I started in 2019. This is my 7th year, although it's my 6th high school show to make it to the stage, as we all know what happened in 2020. And so and then because of the addition of the youth choir, the fall junior high musicals, I think this is my 12th or 13th show I'm producing since starting in 2019.
That's a lot.
How did you get into theater?
Yeah, great question.
I was a little bit of a late bloomer. I didn't start till junior year, and I always wanted to do it, but I was pretty shy.
Sure.
At that time, I played piano, so I told someone maybe I'll play piano for your show. Well, then the score was horrible. I couldn't play it.
Sure.
And he said, "I'll let you out." It was a guy named John Schoonemaker. I don't know if anybody knows him, but he said, "I'll let you not play the piano if you try out." And I was like,
and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 16 years old.
Are you having to recruit kids to be on stage crew or to try out, or is it just such an operation now that people are trying to get in?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, we definitely have a reputation, and I'm, this whole doing the youth choir and the fall junior high show is kind of farming students to us, I hope, and getting them a little taste of what it's like. And but yeah, we do recruit a little bit because we don't always get the numbers just off the bat. Sometimes it takes just like for me, I'll walk up to a kid in school and be like, I think you could do this. And they're like, me? And I'm like, yeah, you should give it a try. And we've had kids that, junior or senior year, just do it one time. We had a boy a couple years ago decide he wanted to do it, quit lacrosse his senior year, and not quit, he didn't try out senior year, and he landed a lead in Something Rotten. And it was just something he decided he wanted to do, and he worked really hard, and it was pretty amazing.
It's always that kid that everyone else that does musicals hates because they're like, oh, great, the lacrosse kid got the lead.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean,
come on, you know I'm right. You know I'm right about that.
Talk to me about kind of the casting audition process. I'm curious about this from both of your perspectives of kind of going in, right? So Ethan, we'll start with you. When you hear it's Joseph, I mean, did you immediately say, I am Joseph? Or
no. So when the video came out to announce the musical, there were several musicals that were being teased in the video, and Joseph came on the screen, and I was like, oh, surely there's more. There's no way this is the show we're doing, and that's the way that I always am. But I really couldn't believe that this actually was the case. But I was like, we'll get on board with it. It'll be fine. Preparing for the role was really fun because watching Donny Osmond is a really fun time. But then when it came time to the actual audition process, I had the flu the week of auditions.
Oh, man.
So
Do you feel like
actually,
someone might have poisoned you?
you know,
It's a sabotage. Is that lacrosse kid? Probably.
His little brother.
but yet, no, I came in the day of callbacks and like squeaked out an audition.
That's great.
And
the rest is history.
Why is it important for you guys to both participate in the arts in high school and for high schools to have performances and programs like this for their students?
Yeah, I think that this is the St. Francis de Sales musical theater program is probably one of my favorite ways to express myself and who I am. I can be around these people and I don't have to feel judged for what I like or how I express myself. And I think that's really important because in high school we're all trying to find our sense of self and our identity. And you will kind of miss out on that if you shy away from these experiences. I know my freshman year, I told myself that I wasn't going to like doing the musical, but I was going to push myself to do it anyway. And that was one of the best decisions I could have made because the friends that I made that freshman year are some of my best friends now.
Carson, how about you? Why is it important to be involved?
A lot like Ethan, like how I was saying about me not wanting to do any sports. I was like, because I was also trying to figure out like what do I want to make a lasting impact on at my high school? And I really think like St. Francis Musical Theater, it was probably the best choice I made, in my opinion. I've really enjoyed all the work I've done, and it's just real nice being able to like get to know so many people like that are like you, and all those others that join on into musical that aren't like you. So you just did a whole spectrum of different people to meet.
Now, why doesn't the crew get a bow? Carson, I think as leader this year, you could talk to
I've seen them come out sometimes.
Those lights can turn off as fast as they turn on, buddy. You've got a lot of power.
You got to ask Greg Skabinski about that, and you're going to get it. You're going to get it. Absolutely not. That's But
those are my words.
So
not yours.
Warren, these two answers have to be wind in your sails, right? I mean, you were absolutely part of purpose. I had a fine time in high school, but it is to everyone very challenging. And those who wish they could go back to high school usually should be in infirmary. But in all sincerity, you've dedicated your life to others, and there's some wins and losses in that, meaning you're dealing with young people who are working their way through their bodies and who they are. They're working through parents, and every parent thinks their kid is ready for the big time. Or at the risk of putting you a bit on the spot, can you talk a little bit about how fulfilling this work is and also some of the challenges?
Absolutely. So I took a long break from theater. I was doing grad school for counseling, and I'm, be a school principal and things like that, and took a break that ended up being 14 years. And I had a sister pass away from cancer in 2013, and she loved musicals, and that was one way we bonded. And
did she have a favorite?
Her favorite was Wicked.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but so, going through that, because it was like a 3-year process of cancer and stuff, I said to myself, it was really a lesson in how much time do I have left, and what are my bucket list things, and what am I going to do? Because she died at 44, and I was 41. So the next year, my favorite all-time musical, Les Mis, was being produced by 3B Productions in Toledo. One of my best friends, Joe Barton, is the director there, and I said, I'm gonna go out for Les Mis. So anyway, I know this is a long answer, but so I got back into community theater and started doing all these roles and just having a blast for, I guess it would have been 6 years, or 5 years, because 2014, and then never dreamed that this would be something I would do. I was directing here and there, but the opportunity came up because I'm also a school counselor at St. Francis, and I just was like, wow, So I mean, it's an incredible position to be in. I often tell, when I was in high school, I came to see, you were probably in 42nd Street?
That was I had already graduated.
Okay.
That was the next year, yep. My two sisters were in
Gretchen's
it.
way older than that.
I went to...
She was graduated 10 years prior to that.
1 year prior.
I went to see 42nd Street and was blown away.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Gloria
then you know she wasn't
Malapis became... Gloria Malapis was like, I was like,
A goddess.
and we did good shows at
Yeah.
Clay, but I was like, I mean, no disrespect to my drama teacher, she was wonderful, Amy Hearing. But I was like, this is like the...
Didn't know it could be this.
Yeah, I mean, it was just incredible. sets, everything, the choreography. So anyway, to be at the helm of it, I still have to pinch myself often and be like, I can't believe that they've entrusted me to lead.
Well, prepare to pinch yourself one more time.
The show is this weekend. Give me dates, times, and location.
So we're at Lourdes University, the Franciscan Center, and it's April 30th through May 3rd. Shows are 7:30 on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and 2:30 on Sunday. Tickets can be purchased by going to our website, sfsnights.org/musical.
Ward, Carson, Ethan, thank you so much for joining us.
Break a leg.
Break a leg this weekend. I'm excited to be out there. We're coming with my family to see it and rooting you guys on. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Cathy Kamenca. We'll talk about some of the great things happening this summer with PBS Kids. We'll be right back on the 419.
Support for the 419 comes from Witro Wealth Management, where we understand that your financial path is personal. Advisory services are offered through Capital Investment Advisory Services, LLC. Securities offered through Capital Investment Group, Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. More information at WitroAdvisors.com.
Destination Toledo. Whether you're a local or a visitor, Destination Toledo invites you to explore the region and be a tourist in Toledo. Find events, dining, and things to do at visittoledo.org.
WorkSpring. HR issues and employee well-being go hand in hand. WorkSpring supports employers through compliance, training, and wellness because healthy workplaces don't happen by accidents. Learn more at workspring.org.
Toledo Refining Company, a subsidiary of PDF Energy. Toledo Refining Company is a supplier of fuels that keep our region moving. Located in Oregon, Ohio, the refinery processes crude oil into gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, and other petroleum products.
And TARTA, celebrating its 55th year of connecting Northwest Ohioans to their community. More information at tarta.com.
Welcome back into the 419, powered by WGTE. There's some great things happening this summer with WGTE. We're joined now by our friend Cathy Kamenca.
Hi,
friend of the show.
Hello.
Cathy,
Thank you for having me.
Are our most repeating guest?
She's also our most favorite WGTE guest.
Yes.
Love that.
Yes.
Right?
I love
Kevin,
that.
your words.
Those are my words. That's right.
No, they were my words.
I like all of our guests that have been on.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me back again.
Yeah, we love you.
No.
Is this time 3?
Yes. It is. It's my third
You
time.
get a jacket
so
on the
thank
fifth.
Oh, really? Is that the 5-timers club?
100%.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. I can't wait for that. That's awesome. I'm going to have somebody make that right now.
Yeah, do
I
it.
need someone to order a
Cathy,
coat.
I'll coordinate that.
Can we get
Joseph's?
I'll
Can we get
coordinate
Joseph's
that.
coat?
Yes.
Guys, we don't
that
have
would be
time
perfect.
for this banter because there is a load of summer stuff that you need to alert our listener about.
I have great programming
You sure do.
for this
Let's talk
summer
about
on
it.
TV.
Yeah,
so,
tell me.
So obviously for you Toledo story fans, tonight is Lake Erie, Ohio's Great Lake. It's on at 8 o'clock. Thursday night at 8 o'clock is our Toledo Stories time. That's a dearly loved one. Talks about the history of the history of Lake Erie all the way to Cleveland history, which there's a lot of.
Let me ask you a question, Cathy. Are we making those lakes great again?
We are.
That's what I
we
heard.
are. We're going to make them great again. Yeah. So I don't know what the acronym is for that, but yeah, we should go with that.
We're going to make a ballroom in every lake.
Yeah, cleaning them up. We're cleaning them up. No. So we're wrapping up Call the Midwife, season 15.
Yeah.
And we're wrapping up.
People love that show.
They love that show. They are crazy about that show.
So good.
I mean, who could put women having babies on at 8 o'clock on a Sunday?
Yeah, that's right.
Really on a Sunday night. And then they don't hold back.
Yeah, no,
they don't hold back. But the
I can't
stories
believe
are
that
lovely.
show's been on for 15 years.
I know.
That's
And we're going to
crazy.
get a season 16 next
Oh,
year.
good.
We have a season 16.
Yep.
So
Great show.
Better than
but as
Downtown Abbey.
Ooh, Downtown Abbey. Ooh, it is Downton Abbey.
Sorry.
Darling.
Show some respect.
Darling.
I'm sorry.
And I want to talk about that because that's actually coming back. But so we're going to wrap up The Count of Monte Cristo.
Yes.
So he's in his revenge stage now, so it's really, really fun.
As am
He's
I.
out and he's rich and he's playing his foes who put him in jail. It's very, very interesting. The scenery is so beautiful. And, you know,
It's also a good sandwich.
Yeah, it is a good sandwich.
Yeah.
I've had those, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the ham and cheese with the
And it's like
pancake.
deep fried.
Yeah, and it's deep fried.
I'll tell you
Yum.
what, Cathy, one of the best things with having you on is every dumb thing Gretchen says, you make so sweet and so great.
Aww.
Yeah.
But it is a good sandwich.
Yeah.
Doc Watson's has it. I had it at
Doc
Watson's.
Watson's has one of everything. Yeah, you can have anything. You can have sushi. You can have a souffle made at your table.
Yeah.
They have a
Perfect.
5,000-page menu.
Perfect. That's awesome. So Wednesday nights, I got a new series that just started. It's called Shared Planet. It's on at 10 o'clock. It's kind of a global series. There's 4 parts to it, and it's kind of like having people merge themselves with wildlife.
Yeah.
So it's just like taking nature, and we fit ourselves into nature. We don't get rid of it. We're not tearing stuff down. We're putting our stuff in there on a global.
So great.
So it's trying to teach people how to live differently.
And that's on every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday, for 4 Wednesdays.
Okay.
We just started the first one this past Wednesday at 10 o'clock.
Great.
So Shared
It's a
Planet.
great show.
Yeah. It's a good thought.
Yes, it is.
Nature's in May, Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. All the shows are focused on Sir David Attenborough. You know him. He's so great.
Yep.
He is such a conservation animal lover, teacher, mega supporter. He's 99 years old.
I didn't know that.
He is 99 years old.
Oh my goodness.
And he still is doing programs. He is still out there. He's still interfacing with the animals. I mean, I love the way look at this, isn't he gorgeous? I mean, he's just so in love with these animals, and he's so great. And we're happy that he does so much for PBS.
Absolutely.
We're just so great that he does. So we got some great performances I wanted to talk about real quick. Fridays at 9 o'clock. We have got on May 8th, it's at 9 o'clock, it's the musical Suffs about the women's suffrages.
That
That's
is
about
a great
Alice
musical.
Paul, Ida Wells. Yes.
I saw it on Broadway.
Did you see it?
I did. It's fabulous.
Wow.
It's such a good story. The story of the suffragettes, and it's very good. I highly encourage people to watch that.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So it's going to be on PBS on May 8th at 9 o'clock.
And Gretchen does not just give superlatives to all.
Really?
No, that's true.
She will say if she doesn't
Are you a
like
tough
it.
critic on musicals?
Yes.
I think so, kind of.
You have to be.
Kind of am.
You kind of have
The
to be.
costumes alone.
Really?
It's like the dresses. Very
And
cool.
the boat. Yeah.
Yep.
We're a good descriptor.
You know, the
It's,
dresses.
The dresses. Yeah, even her tone dropped. I was like, man, but keep wanting more. Yeah, please keep
But
going.
it's such a
Kathy.
fantastic story.
Yes,
so,
it is.
so I think
It's
that's a
an
good
important
2 hours. So there's an investment of time there. So, but then
We got the time.
You got the time?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
See? I love how agreeable you are. So then we go to May 15th, which is a Friday at 9 o'clock. Great performance is actually going to bring back Irving Berlin's Top Hat. Which is super fun.
Cool.
So it's 2 hours of the classics. It's based on Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers movie that they did in 1935. So you got Cheek to Cheek and Putting on the Ritz and all those great songs. Irving Berlin. I mean, so that's going to be great. So all these shows are available on your Passport if you do use our streaming service Passport. If you're a member at $60 a year or just $5 a month. I never say that enough. I say that all the time.
You can't say it enough. It is an unbelievable.
I love my Passport. I use it all the time.
Yep.
I was just watching one of my favorite great performances, which was on Henry Mancini's 100th birthday.
Yeah.
I have it on my saved list, and I watch it all the time. It's great music. So anyway, but you can do that too. But I think what we're kind of really excited about here as a whole station, as a collective, is radio has their FM 91, their 50th anniversary.
50 years.
May 2nd, 1976. They completely hit the airwaves. Classical music and NPR News. And the community completely just embraced them.
I'll tell you what.
Embraced them and supported them because we wouldn't have been here for 50 years without
It doesn't happen
the
by
community
accident.
support.
That's right.
Exactly.
Kathy, we are so proud to even be loosely affiliated with such a great tradition. You know how important we feel the mission is. So 50 years is a big celebration, and we're looking forward to it, ideally, the next 50 as well.
Great.
So thank you for all the leadership here, not just by you, but for the whole staff. It is kind.
We all believe in each other's stuff.
You can tell.
I honestly say that.
And
we all support each other.
Matt and Kevin make fun of me for being old all the time, but I'm 56. We moved here when I was 6 to Toledo, 6 or 7. And
From where?
From Oklahoma.
Okay.
So have been listening to public radio for almost that entire time. Back, my parents listened to it in the car.
Mine too.
We would listen to All Things Considered
Same.
and the news and
Yeah.
driving around with our folks, listening to Car Talk, which my dad loved. And all of that kind of stuff on National Public Radio. So it's truly amazing that it's been around.
It is the
For this
background.
long.
It is the background.
But
of our
these
childhood.
communities, they support it.
Yep.
It's all supported by the community.
important to
So, and they're
support.
still supporting it now.
Yeah.
And
Now
I always
more than
tell,
ever.
when I'm on the radio, I help them out during their pledge and stuff. And I always say, you know what, if you're listening to FM 91 and you just found it, somebody has supported it because
That's
you
right.
just found it. So be that next person to support it for somebody else who just found it.
Right.
Well said.
You
Well
know?
said.
So yeah, so we're real excited to celebrate with them as a station. So I know that Tina's department, the PBS Kids department, they've got another kids night in June. Okay. So I don't know what show they're doing, but we have all kinds of kids activities here. We get like 150
and then
kids
they have
through
the
here.
big Daniel Tiger event at the zoo this
That's
summer.
right.
I know that's coming up. So
yes.
you can
Be
get
My
all
Neighbor Day. Yes.
Information about that at the WGTE website.
Yep, exactly. And then I have a screener coming up in June 2, June 14th. It's on a Thursday because we have Grantchester season 11, the final season. So my Grantchester mystery fans, I'm so sorry, but it is the final season.
I'm not aware of that show. What is
this?
this?
It's a light mystery series. And there's the vicar. There's been 3 different vicars.
Vicars.
I know, right? But it's based on a book called Grantchester.
Okay, got it.
And it is based on this poor little town has all of Grantchester has all these horrible murders.
Sure.
And the police chief likes to have the vicar help him.
Lansbury visits frequently.
Maybe she probably should.
Murder follows that lady.
Yeah. No matter where she is.
That's right.
But she could go have a coffee somewhere.
Yeah,
Oh my God! Look what happened.
Death follows her.
But so a lot of people are sad to see it go.
Sure.
But 11 seasons. So we have our 3rd vicar, so he's going to find his mother, and it's going to end on a happy, happy note, and they're all going to live happily ever after.
Until someone's untimely death.
Yeah. So, and then in June, we start our new, we had a new series last year called Patience. It's from the BBC, and Patience is her name. She's a girl, she works back in like the death medical records, and she gets stuff, and she's autistic.
Oh,
well, she can really solve these murders because she pays attention to a lot of the stuff that we maybe not pay attention to.
Oh, that's cool.
So the inspector has kind of brought her in as the team because she's like, I didn't think about that, and she becomes a very integral part. So we have a season 2, which a lot of people are happy. Some of them are kind of dark, a little bit. Some of the stuff is dark, but it's good stuff. So people are pretty excited about
And
that.
we're hoping that Great Britain continues to show us patience.
Yeah, and Downton Abbey comes back.
Downton Abbey is coming back.
PBS. I know. PBS has gotten
coming back as in reruns, or they're doing new shows?
No, coming as reruns.
Okay.
So we're going to do seasons 1, 2, and 3 starting in June. Take a break for Christmas because December is the first week is usually fundraising, and then I go right into holiday mode. I try to hit all the holidays that everybody celebrates with programming and make it fun. Then they'll repeat All Creatures Great and Small season 6 because we have season 7 coming in January because then they've commissioned a season 7 and a season 8. I could go on forever, so you have to tell me when to stop.
So the real reason why we brought you on is because we're auditioning for Gretchen's replacement.
Yes. Oh, gotcha.
And so it's now time for Cathy's Wacky Quiz.
Oh my gosh. My gosh. I really need my glasses.
So you're going to give us the quiz.
The audience to know I will be answering the questions as if I was Shane, our producer, who is out of town.
I'm so glad I get to do the quiz.
I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page that you are not going to do the accent.
I will not do the accent.
Okay,
That's
thank
right.
you.
I don't want any more emails.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
We're
all right,
ready.
let's do it.
I'm so happy to do this.
That we're excited. Yes, nice.
Ready? If you had a fake name, what fake name would you make up?
Well, as Shane, I would keep the same name because it's dreadful to pronounce, and the way I say it makes children cry.
Oh, yikes. I would be Sir Reginald Cedric.
Oh, I love it.
That's so
and gender
professional.
I like it. I know.
Yeah.
I almost recorded a book on tape that was like rather spicy, and I joked that if I did it, I was going to use the name Kurt Sussdorf, which is Nicole's husband.
Yeah, I love it.
That's his actual name.
That's
so
good.
that's my fake name would be someone else's real name.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's a right.
Well, you have to do a name for you.
Shane. I would use
okay.
Shane's name and bring some light in the world, unlike what he does, which just brings terror and darkness.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Kathy's like, gotcha.
That's all right. I can't go any further than that. That's cool. What is something exciting that's happening in your life right now?
Again, as Shane, my skin is translucently white. So I have found a new SPF. It's SPF 1000. So I will be going out in the sun. They do now. I will be going out in the sun wearing my usual deep sea diving suit and the SPF.
Gretchen.
That sounds like a David Letterman skit of some kind. Way back when.
Exciting for me is that I just bought a ticket to for my big trip of the year, and I'm going to Morocco in September.
Yeah, can't come fast enough.
I know from last time you're seeing Bruno Mars.
That's right.
I think
Bruno
that's
Mars
really
in May.
exciting.
In Morocco?
No.
Well, no.
Separate things.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Unless he wants to join us.
Well, he could. Maybe he would.
That's right.
Maybe he'll need a break.
That's right.
I'm going to be opening for Bruno Mars.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, all right. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big announcement.
Yeah.
All right.
What will you be doing? I want to know.
That's a great question. What song will you be doing?
The Count of Monte.
Maybe a comedy.
The Count of Monte Cristo. I'm just making sandwiches. Yeah.
You could do a comedy musical skit kind of thing, like Saturday Night Live parody maybe.
I like it.
A parody of talent.
You could pull that off.
A parody of talent. Oh my goodness. All right, last one.
What has been the worst haircut you've ever had?
That's
a great question.
All of them. I have terrible hair. So I went into Supercuts, where I get all my hair cut done.
Because they're super.
That's right, thank you. And they have decided to change their name after that experience.
Just mediocre
They'll no
cuts.
longer be Supercuts.
Final cut.
Just gonna be called
Final cut.
It's just gonna be called. That's exactly. Yeah, it's just gonna be called Cuts.
I have had so many bad hair. I can't.
That's not true.
4th grade probably. I had a Dorothy Hamill.
Did you?
Yeah. Like the people know. People know
Yeah.
what Dorothy Hamill.
I'm working on a Scott Hamilton.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
COVID was rough for all of us.
Yeah.
Like going
cut your
a
bangs
long
again?
time without. That's right. A long time without a haircut. It was pretty painful.
Yeah.
I throughout high school I was in musicals, and I did a role my senior year where I was an Elvis parody. We did Bye Bye Birdie. And so I rocked the Elvis hairstyle maybe longer than I should have after the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you were interested to
Impressive.
the adoring fans.
Yeah.
I was doing what they wanted.
Yeah.
Yep. And he also adhered to abstinence. Some of it not by choice. Mostly.
Kathy, thank
Kathy,
you
you're the
so
best.
much
Yeah,
for
we
joining
love
us.
you.
I'm
you
so
want.
glad to be
Yeah.
back here. You guys are so much fun.
You're fun.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing what you do here and shedding the light on all the great things that happen in this area. You
People
do a
can
great job.
People can get the schedule and information about all the shows coming up where?
WGTE.org. Just go to TV. All of our schedules, including radio, are right there, and they are up to date all the
And
time.
use the awesome app. The app is
Yes,
awesome.
the app is really great too. for sure.
And Unlock Passport.
Unlock
Become a
Passport. Get your
member.
passport. It's easy. It's simple. We make it easy for you.
That's right.
Once you
I
get
agree.
Passport, you just call in. We get your activation code. You just need an email. We'll set you up with a password. Any device, anytime. 4,000 shows at your convenience to
Awesome.
watch all the time.
Kathy Kamenca, thank you so much. When we come back, we'll wrap up this Thursday edition of the 419.
WGTE Public Media's Educational Services Department provides outstanding programs, services, and resources to enhance learning outcomes for students, educators, and learners of all ages. WGTE's Educational Services Department teaches parents, caregivers, and educators how to utilize educational media, children's literature, and engaging activities to help prepare young children for a happy, healthy, and bright future. From PBS Kids programming specifically designed to support the development and creativity of young children, to individualized lesson plans, standards-aligned curriculum, professional development classes, community events, and family fun movie nights right here at WGTE. Our Educational Services Department shares the tools you need for you and your little ones to feel like you belong. WGTE Public Media, where you belong.
You laughed with us. You learned with us.
Hi, neighbor.
We made sure your childhood was special. Memories that could only be provided by PBS. For generations, we've given you programs that made a difference. Programs that entertained, informed, and inspired. And today is no different. This is WGTE Public Media in Toledo. It's where you belong.
Welcome back into the 419, our Thursday edition. As we take a look at our Toledo.com community calendar, driven by Tarta. Rapid fire, can we go back through?
We sure can.
the
We
top
sure
five?
can. Toledo.com, The Mix, Friday night, Tattoo Fest. Friday to Sunday, Claire's Day. Saturday at the main library, Cinco de Mayo celebration. Sunday at the zoo, and the Walk for MS is Sunday. Downtown.
St. Francis Musical starts tonight.
Yep.
Tonight.
Through Sunday at the Franciscan Center.
Dean
and then
Davis's
Dean
event
Davis,
is tonight.
At Toledo Pickle.
Yep.
So get out, enjoy Toledo. If you missed any part of the show, you can catch it 7 a.m. on YouTube, 3 p.m. on FM 91, or 6 p.m. on WGTE Connects channel 30.4. Of course, you can download it 24/7, 365 on the website, WGTE.org/the419, or download the new and improved WGTE app. Our huge thanks to our guests for being on the program today. Thank you to Ethan, Carson, Ward from the St. Francis Musical. Thanks to Dean Davis. And of course, our friend and Gretchen's future replacement, Kathy Kamenca. Thank you so much.
You should be so lucky.
For being here. We would be lucky to have that happen.
Absolutely.
And thanks to you for joining us as well. It's the 419.
powered by WGTE and presented by Witro Wealth Management.
The 419, powered by WGTE, is made possible in part by supporters like you. Thank you.